I'm RJ, one half of the Dysfunctional Podcast. Ever since I was a little boy, I've wanted to be a celebrity chef. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. So after starting a podcast with my husband Adam, I've decided that while we're in quarantine, what better time than now to show you how we bring the magic of the theme parks into our own home. I'm taking some of my favorite park foods and recipes and adapting them for my kitchen. The D Podcast presents Food Rocks! Ta-da! Calte travelers. Yes, Calte. Calte. Calte means hello? Greetings? I don't know. In Disney's Animal Kingdom, there's a little store right outside the exit of Flight of Passage called Pongu Pongu. And there they sell a snack called Pongu Lumpia. So they put the recipe in Disney Parks blog, and it's so cute because this is how they write it down. On Earth, get it? Because it's in a different world. On Earth, lumpia is a spring roll of Chinese origin, commonly found as a popular street food snack in Indonesia and in the Philippines. That's where I'm from. It is traditionally a mixture of savory vegetables and chopped meat filling rolled in a spring roll wrapper. But at Pongu Pongu, they made a sweet version that's filled with pineapple and cream cheese. I mean, what's not to love about that? So lumpia was like an important food in my home growing up. My mom always made lumpiang Shanghai, which is like the traditional, more savory way that we have it in the Philippines. It's filled with pork and shrimp, carrots and different types of like minced vegetables. But lumpia is kind of like the umbrella term for a spring roll. So there are different ways that you make lumpia in the Philippines. The version that they made over at Animal Kingdom is a lot like our version of lumpia, which is called turon, which is filled with saba bananas, which is like a bigger, I don't know how to describe saba. It's like a bigger, older banana. I don't know. It's always what it looks like to me. It's like a banana's grandpa. Turon is made with bananas and then like covered in sugar so that when you fry it, it caramelizes. The recipe pretty much just says sugar, cream cheese, pineapple. Done. But I kind of wanted to play around with like what other stuff could I put in there to kind of help make it taste better. Hope you enjoy. I truly rose to the challenge. Or, as some of my Flight of Passage people would say, I siva code this Pongu Lumpia. Put that filling into the lumpia and fry. Get it? Do you get it?
All right, let's make the filling for our Pongu Lumpia. I used 8 ounces of cream cheese. Make sure it's softened, so just leave it room temperature before you use it. I have about a cup's worth of chopped pineapple here. I am using 2 tablespoons of sugar for the filling. And then I'm going to add a little bit of salt, just a pinch is gonna do. And then I'm adding a couple of spices here. I'm doing ground cinnamon and some ground ginger. These are traditionally some spices that go well with pineapple, kind of like pineapple upside down flavors. So mixing that in there, making sure that cream cheese is softened. I had a little bit of tough time, as you can see. My rubber spatula was not having it. For the sealer, traditionally in lumpia you actually use an egg wash, which is an egg and a little bit of water. But I wanted to make it a little sweeter, so I made a little syrup instead. So this is about half a cup of water and then about a tablespoon of sugar. Now, for the lumpia wrapper, I specifically went to the store and found lumpia spring roll wrappers. It'll say it's from the Philippines. It's from a blue box. Just because the spring roll wrappers that you get traditionally from your local grocery stores will probably be the rice wrappers from Vietnamese food, which just I don't think will work here. So make sure you are specifically getting a lumpia wrapper. Has the words lumpia. It should be made with flour. So I used about a tablespoon and a half of the filling, made a little row on the bottom. Do that first fold to kind of shape it like a little log. Fold in the sides and then roll all the way up, seal the end. There it is. Look at that. A perfect lumpia. Lumpia is actually a really fun food that we use all the time in the Philippines. We fill it with different kinds of stuff. Traditionally, we use the meat, but we have turon, which is made with bananas. We do cheese sticks, so we'll like cut up like Kraft cheese into slices and rolls, and then we would roll them through a lumpia wrapper. That was always a fun snack that I would make in the afternoons. Once you finished up wrapping up all of your lumpia, I would just freeze them for maybe about an hour or two, just to make sure that that cream cheese is nice and solid when you put it in the fryer. I probably had about, let's see, is that 15 lumpias? So it'll make a lot. Good job, RJ. That's me doing a little Vogue hands. Okay, let's keep going. I put three were able to fit in there. I rolled the lumpias in sugar before I put them in the air fryer, as you see me doing right here. And then I used a cooking spray. Obviously, when you're frying things, this is just the best way to do it with an air fryer. Just add a little bit of oil. So I put it onto 380 for about 10 minutes. And in my mind, I was going to flip it halfway through and see what happens. The filling was popping out of the skin. So I finished these 3, but I was not happy. I was not a happy boy. Here I am emoting to the camera. Unfortunately, the filling was not staying inside the wrapper.
Here's what's happening, I think. Because it's an air fryer and it's not frying outside in, like it's not cooking outside in, it's cooking inside out. Does that make sense? Because it's like a small oven. It's causing the filling to cook up first, and since it's mostly cheese, it like is expanding in there, causing it to burst. I don't know. I mean, it still tastes good. It's also not caramelizing the outside as I want. So here's what we're doing. We're gonna deep fry the rest. Not even like deep fry. It's honestly just like a shallow fry, like just on a fry pan. We are rising to the challenge, honey.
And we're back, and now we're gonna deep fry them. So here's a trick to know when your oil is ready for frying. You let it get heated up and then use the back of a wooden spoon, and when it starts making bubbles, that means you are ready to fry. Mine was bubbling up a lot faster than I wanted it, so I actually took it down a little bit. Also, make sure you have a splatter guard ready. I showed it here, but I ended up not using it, so you're gonna see all the splatters all over my stove. So I'm frying these lumpia. Here we go. I'm starting with 3 because that's how much can fit. You don't want to overcrowd your pan because it's actually going to take down the temperature of the oil. You're going to see here that this lumpia fries up just like that. You're really just getting for the color. You just want a golden brown color on both sides, and that's it. You don't have to cook anything inside. You just want that wrapper to crisp up. Are you guys ready to see some like vaudevillian comedy as I attempt to flip these lumpia? Watch this third one. You ready? Meow. Meow. I don't know why I insisted on using these rubber tongs. I have real tongs that I could have used. Anyway, my lumpia is golden brown. And I'm going to put them in my wire rack. I bought this wire rack and pan at Target. Best purchase I've ever made. It has really made like frying the best. Now I'm going to add some sugar right on top to help caramelize while it's still hot. That way you get that nice crisp of the sugar. Magically, I've fried 3 more lumpias, and now I'm frying the last 2. And I'm using the rest of the sugar to throw it on top of your finished lumpia. And you made Pongu Lumpia. Do you see all over my pan? Just oil splatters everywhere. Oh my god. You would think I would clean up my kitchen a lot more since I have nothing else to do. Anyway, here's the finished lumpia. There it is. Make sure you sprinkle all the rest of your sugar on top of it. And you're ready to eat.
Here is the finished product of our lumpia. Lumpia. Pongu. Pongu Lumpia. So I think we made a really good call switching our strategy halfway through and giving up the air fryer and then going for a shallow fry. It took like 2 minutes per side. It was like that because really you're not cooking anything inside. This is what the air fryer looks like. Look, it exploded. Here is our deep fried version. Look at how beautiful golden brown it is. Nothing really popped. It didn't explode because you're just cooking the outside shell. And look, the way that they do it at Animal Kingdom is they put a lot of sugar on it. Friedrich. This is our Pongu cream cheese pineapple lumpia. Yo, good call on that cinnamon. It tastes like pineapple upside down cake in here. It's so nice and warm. I think the deep fry is truly the way to go because it actually even caramelized a little bit on the outside while having the lumpia still hot straight from the fryer, putting the sugar in. It's starting to crystallize. It's so good. Come on. If you have recipes that you want me to recreate from your favorite Disney parks, please send them my way. Thank you, Casey, for giving me the idea to make this. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the D Podcast Presents Food Rocks. Ta-da. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Instagram at the D Podcast. Our podcast appears every 2 weeks. A new episode comes out, and you can get those episodes wherever you listen to podcasts. We are part of the Not a Bit Network, and all of our shows are found wherever you get your podcasts, or you can also visit notabit.net or follow us at Not a Bit Network on Instagram to see more of our shows. Thanks again for tuning in. This is RJ. Bon appetit. Is there a way to say bon appetit in what is the language? Avatar language? What is that called? Irayo for watching. This is RJ. Bon appetit.